Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching S News live in the Student Union. I'm Austin Thielen.
And I'm Tashawn Charity. On today's show, the Florida Congress passes the Guardian program.
Sociology has been removed from UNF curriculum.
First Presidential Search Committee meeting.
Finals prep.
And a sports update. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. On March 12, 2025, Florida lawmakers approved House Bill 757, which allows public universities, faculty, and staff to carry concealed guns under the Guardian program. Since Governor Ron DeSantis has not signed the bill, UNF currently has no plan set to implement the program, according to a UNF spokesperson. However, students still have concerns about how the program would operate on campus and whether it would complicate emergency responses. Naya Perry, a UNF sophomore, said the initiative is a lousy attempt at managing campus safety and pointed to the controversial approach for stricter gun laws in Florida. DeSantis will do anything but enforce stricter gun laws, even if it means putting more people at risk with more guns, she said. Taylor Conway, a UNF sophomore, said the effectiveness of the Guardian program is questionable, given the size of college campuses, and that this may hinder emergency responses. It just doesn't make sense for us, said Conway. Colleges are huge, and there are a lot more places, so giving more guns to people feels like a hazard. The bill created in a wake of April 2025 shooting that took place at Florida State University provided that the university presidents would select which employees serve as guardians. While county sheriffs would oversee their training and certification, it clarifies that a guardian's role would be limited to responding on an active attacker on campus. Should the bill be signed by Governor DeSantis, those selected to be guardians would be required to complete 144 hours of training, psychological evaluations, background screenings, and annual reauthorization. The bill does not require universities to adopt the program.
UNF has removed sociology from its core general education curriculum 7 weeks before the Florida Board of Governors made the same decision for the entire state university system. Chancellor Ray Rodriguez prompted a surprise vote on removing the sociology course from general education requirements in the entire university system. Sociology as a discipline is now social and political advocacy, dressed in the regalia of the academy, Rodriguez said. Associate Professor of Sociology Richard Phillips stated that UNF removed this course independently before the Board of Governors meeting. While I acknowledge that the Board of Governors has legitimate concerns, to my knowledge, the things they're worried about were not happening with UNF Sociology, said Phillips. To my understanding, they did this for pragmatic reasons to protect certain conditional funding. UNF students feel differently about this decision, and there have been indoctrination concerns among the student body. According to the College of Arts and Sciences, the sociology curriculum at UNF covers sociological theory, methods of social science research, and a variety of topics such as social inequality, social identities, family dynamics, politics, education, and international relations. UNF Junior Nick Rachow, says these are classes we need, especially now. No one knows how to speak to each other, and how else are we going to learn, said Rachow.
The UNF Presidential Search Committee held its first meeting on March 31st, in which they outlined the transparency of UNF's presidential search and the traits of the next university president. The committee is working with the Funk Associates, a firm that recruits senior higher education leaders, to put together a pool of candidates who can strengthen the university's academic profile and regional reach. Dwight Cooper, chair of the UNF Foundation Board, said that the next leader should be innovative and lean into AI. JAX USA Partnership President Andra Wallace wants the next president to address regional gaps, noting that the university currently ranks low in engineering and life sciences compared to other Florida metropolitan areas like Orlando and Tampa. It is not enough for the Wall Street Journal to say that your region is the second hottest job market in the country with these numbers, said Wallace. Committee listening sessions are scheduled from April 9th, 10th, and 14th as an opportunity for the UNF community to share their perspectives on the presidential search. The next Presidential Search Committee meeting is scheduled for April 21st. You can read more information about the Presidential Search Committee and process on our website.
Well, Ospreys, we've reached that point of the semester, and finals will be here before you know it. So, David Green has some details about how students can prepare.
April begins, so too does finals season, and students preparing for that heavy last week. I spoke with Director of Student Academic Success Services, Dylan Charles, to ask how students can best prepare.
I think students should treat it holistically, of thinking about their academics for sure, and they'll think about what they need to know and study for the finals, but understanding those other aspects that feed into it, so having proper sleep, good diet, exercising, all those sorts of things go into it as well. So our tutoring is primarily walk-ins, where the students can just show up if they have questions, if they want to work through things, get different examples, use our whiteboards, kind of treat it as a study space with people in the room that know what they're talking about, that have been through the classes before, know those struggles, kind of how to be a better student. We also have a success coaching program where students can make one-on-one appointments and talk about things like study skills, time management, note-taking, how to prepare for finals, get a game plan together, and be successful just as a better student. Even if a student thinks, I think I'm going to be all right, I think I'm doing well, I'm not too stressed right now, maybe they get some tips and advice that just saves them a little bit of stress later down the line and just makes things less stressful ultimately.
Be sure to check out the Student Academic Success Services webpage, and we wish you the best of luck on your finals. I'm David Green, Spinnaker TV.
And now to Ryan for a UNF Sports Update.
Hello everyone, we are one step closer to the end of the semester, and your athletic teams are one step closer to ending their seasons with a bang. So without further ado, let's get right into this week's UNF Sports Update. Starting things on the sand, the Ospreys beach volleyball team used their 2-week break from competition to come back rejuvenated and rebound from a tough trip to Texas by taking down Stephen F. Austin 5-0 in the opening match of the Capri Classic. UNF will hope to turn this newfound energy into a win streak as they face 3 more teams they have already beaten this season through the rest of the weekend. Sliding things over to the Birds of Clay, the UNF softball team bounced back from their early season struggles in ASUN conference play by winning a road series against Queens last weekend 2-1. They will look to build upon this newfound momentum heading into a home series against top of the Graphite Division, Stetson. Swinging things over to the hard court, the UNF women's tennis team tacked on 2 more victories over the past weekend after taking down FGCU 4-3 before following that up with a 5-0 sweep over South Alabama. At 21-0, the Ospreys are on the brink of history, sitting only 1 win away from a perfect regular season. They will look to finish the campaign strong versus Stetson tomorrow afternoon. Checking in on the men's side, the Ospreys men's tennis team ran their recent win streak up to 5 straight after taking down Kennesaw State and Stetson last weekend. After falling in their season finale to USF last night, they have their eyes set on the ASUN tournament next week, where they hold the #1 overall seed. Lastly, batting things over to the diamond, the Ospreys baseball team has continued their hot streak as they have now won 4 straight series in ASUN play after rebounding from a series opener loss to Queens by taking the next 2 games in convincing fashion. UNF will look to stay atop the Graphite Division heading into a road 3-game slate against West Georgia. That's all I have for you all today. See you next time.
Ospreys, that's all we have for you today. Please consider donating to Spinnaker and supporting college media by clicking the links below.
And for all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com or our Instagram at UNFSpinnaker for more content.
And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Austin Thielen.
And I'm Tashawn Charity.
And
we'll see you next week for Spinnaker's Nest News. Swoop!